What's up, Las Vegas? How are you? My name is Chris Hopkins. I'm here today with Bacardi USA to teach you how to make a Grey Goose perfect martini. Under these really weird quarantine times, I cannot wait for the time that we can get back to our normal life and whatever that looks like in the hospitality industry. Battle-born Nevadans and the Vegas Stay Strong kind of clientele, we know that this city is built on hospitality. We're built on welcoming people into our city and really having a great time and letting them take those memories back home with them so that they can come back and really want to enjoy everything that the city has to offer. For me, I spent an amazing 6 years living in the city, opening the Cosmopolitan Hotel, which really changed my career and gave me the opportunity to stand where I am today, talking to you about Grey Goose and the Bacardi portfolio. So for those of you sitting at home, let's go through how to make an amazing martini. The martini to me is one of the most sophisticated and elegant cocktails that you can have. There's no trip that I've ever had to Las Vegas and no night out in Las Vegas that isn't kind of personified by a perfectly made martini. For me personally, I can't wait for the day that I come back and grace that city again. My first stop is 100% going to be at Libertine Social to see my dear friend Tony Abou-Ganim, one of the godfathers of cocktails and the modern mixologist himself. He literally wrote the book on vodka that we use for education today. His first location there inside Mandalay Bay is a testament to not only great cocktails and great hospitality, but an amazing collaboration with Sean McLean on food, and how they make their drinks and martinis are just a perfect way to start off the day. From there, I think it's time for me to head over to another really dear friend of mine's place, Cleaver. If you haven't seen Cleaver, it's the secondary outpost from the Herbs and Rye team with Nectali Mendoza and his guys, and they just have an amazing way to not only represent Las Vegas, but the hospitality industry as a whole. Impeccable service, phenomenal cocktails, and really world-class food is just another way to get your evening started in the next direction. If I have to pick one more location to go out to, it would be remiss of me not to head down the strip a little further and go to my dear friend Andrew Pollard. Andrew Pollard is the current beverage director for cocktails and services, creating all these amazing libations across the phenomenal properties for Wynn and Encore hotels. Somewhere that's also near to my heart, I happen to be part of the legacy of that phenomenal hotel group by making cocktails there and being the beverage mixologist on property for a little over a year. It's something that's very, very near and dear to my heart. But the final location I would stop, my favorite place to just hang out and just really have a great time with friends at any time of the day, is the Vesper Bar inside the Cosmopolitan. It's the cocktail bar that really changed my career, as I mentioned earlier, but being open 24 hours a day, being a bustling hub of activity, being a lobby bar, there's just so much to see and do, and on any given day you have no idea who you could possibly interact with. It's also where some of my dearest friends work, where we have a 10-year running fantasy football league, and I can't wait to come back and share everything that Las Vegas has to offer with you all very, very soon. But first, let's get started on how to make a martini. A martini is a classic cocktail. It's sexy, it's elegant, but the amazing thing is it can be made so many different ways. For a long time, a lot of people just had vodka in it, but you can have gin in there. It was one of the original actual spirits that were in there. But a really important part of the true martini experience is actually the inclusion of something like vermouth. Vermouths themselves are a very delicate product. They're a wine-based spirit that's fortified with a little bit of alcohol, but then it's flavored with different types of botanicals, spices, herbs, and bittering agents like gentian, wormwood, and many other kind of barks and spices. Many people don't know this, but as a wine-based spirit, it's vital. If I can give you one piece of information, please keep your vermouth in the fridge. From the second you open it to the second you finish that bottle, it is going to change and evolve over time. And much like a really great wine, once you've opened it, there's an oxidation that starts to take place. And if you don't keep it in the fridge, you're going to lose some of those delicate flavors and robust kind of spice notes that really impact how the drink is consumed. So let's get started. For me, I prefer a French vermouth. For this one, I'm going to be using Noilly Prat. It's a beautiful dry vermouth. When it comes to making a martini, a lot of things come down to ratios, because you don't necessarily want to drink it pure alcohol or just with the alcohol of the booze for the Grey Goose or for the gin, whatever you might be using. Vermouth plays a part because it's slightly lower in ABV, so that lower ABV spirit kind of like softens the drink down and makes it more approachable so that you can have more than one or two across the evening. For me, I like to keep a ratio of what I call a 3-to-1, which means 3 parts of your base spirit to 1 part of your vermouth. So for this one, I'm going to be pouring about 3/4 of an ounce of the vermouth into my mixing glass. Very important that you use a jigger. However, in this day and age, as long as you're using your eyeballs to kind of measure things out with the right ratios, I'm sure you're going to be just fine at home. Very important as well, I should have mentioned, to make sure you ice your glass down. A chilled cold martini glass is a really great way to make sure that as you consume this spirit and as you consume your cocktail, it's going to stay as cold as possible all the way through, because at the end of the day, nobody wants to drink a warm martini. That's why some people prefer them shaken versus stirred. The star of the show here for us is going to be Grey Goose, a premium vodka made with French winter wheat. And for this one, we're going to be pouring about 2 ounces. So we're going to get a nice healthy pour of vodka in there because, well, what's a good martini without a good vodka, right? Now, we're going to add the ice. So for ice, really important when you're getting in there, you want to get a lot of ice in there because ice is crucial to making sure this drink is cold and perfectly diluted. Now, if you're someone who likes a drink super cold and you kind of want to dilute it down a little bit more, maybe you're a shaken martini kind of a guy. Maybe you want to follow James Bond down that pathway. For me personally, I'm more of a stirred martini guy, so it's very important for me that I want to integrate the flavors. I want the vermouth to mix really well with the vodka. I want the Grey Goose to kind of stand up on its own, but I also want it to be cold. But I don't want it to be so cold and so diluted that I'm losing some of those base flavors and other kind of like aromas and things that are going to come into the cocktail. So we're going to stir this cocktail, and it's really good to give it a nice, good long stir. These spoons, beautiful things made by Tony Aberganum, the modern mixologist, another Vegas local and native who's very proud to represent the state of Nevada with everything he does. He's also a very dear friend. There we go. Alright, so we're going to get that ice out of there. Very simple. We're just going to take this and we're going to stir and strain into our chilled glass. The beautiful, clean flavor you can see there. Now, when it comes to garnishing a martini, again, there is no right or wrong. It's what you personally want and how you personally want to drink it. For me, I'm kind of an olive guy, so I really dig my vodka martinis with an olive. A very dear friend of mine, Daniel Singer, he has a company called Filthy Olives or Filthy Foods, has these beautifully individually packed olives that are available right now, because the best part about the olives, there's so much variation and so much variety of how you can incorporate an olive into a cocktail. Me personally, there's something indulgent and super sexy and very Vegas about a blue cheese stuffed olive with my martini. It's something that's iconic, so I'm going to choose that. But he's got these beautiful chilies in there. We can do some little cornichons or pickles, or you can do a classic non-stuffed or a pimento. It doesn't really matter, because at the end of the day, it's your cocktail, you drink it your way. That's pretty much all we have to say today. So, again, thank you very much for joining us today. My name is Chris Hopkins. I'm with Bacardi USA. This is my classic Grey Goose Martini, and I can't wait to come back to share this with you at some point soon and post up to one of those beautiful bars in the city of Las Vegas. Until then, take care.